The Lexington Farmers Market Report on WUKY is brought to you by Kentucky American Water, a subsidiary of American Water. American Water serves more than 14 million people across the country through regulated operations in 14 states and 18 military installations. Learn more at amwater.com. Hello and welcome to Kentucky American Water's Lexington Farmers Market Report. Joining us from the Lexington Farmers Market, Josh England. Josh, welcome back to WUKY. What's happening over there at the Lexington Farmers Market?
Sweet corn. Everyone's been waiting for corn on the cob. We've had some for a couple of weeks now, but I wanted to wait till we had a plethora, a selection, a variety, so that everyone could be really happy when they shop by the farmers market and get exactly what they were looking for.
Now, when you say sweet corn, is that a little different than any other corn you might find?
Well, it's different than popping corn. A lot of people know about feed corn, which is used to make animal feed here in Kentucky, but also bourbon. So those are a little bit different. Sweet corn is typically the corn on the cob that you like to eat on the grill or something like that.
So how about ways to use corn that you would be able to pick up at the farmer's market?
I just love to grill it. That's my first way. Just go simple, go old school. I've changed a little bit. I used to just use salt, but now I use tahini, which is a spice blend, and that's what I put on it. I do butter and tahini on the grill. I love it. But if you don't want to eat corn on the cob, what I would suggest making a really nice fried cornbread, and you add freshly decobbed corn into the batter with some jalapenos, maybe some onion, and make it almost like a fried corn fritter. You can't really go wrong there. Even if you wanted to take that and then put a slice of tomato on top of it and make it a corn fritter sort of tomato sandwich, I think that would be really, really good. And then the last recipe I want to leave you with is something that is a little strange for some people, but I love making sweet corn ice cream. It's not something that you see all the time. It's quite popular in Asia and parts of Africa, but it is just so good. You get some of those really great earthy qualities. You can't find it at the store, so you basically have to have an ice cream maker yourself, but you just use that fresh corn, put it into the ice cream like you would chocolate chips or peaches, and you just let it churn and churn and churn, and you can get like a really good corn custard, corn pudding flavor out of it, and it turns out really, really well. Top it with some peaches maybe, and then it tastes sort of like a reverse cobbler.
Josh, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about sweet corn at the Lexington Farmers Market.
Thanks for having me today.
And thank you for joining us for the Lexington Farmers Market Report, brought to you by Kentucky American Water. And we'll see you down there at the Lexington Farmers Market, where friends meet. I'm Joe Conkright for WUKY. Corn is one of those vegetables that is indigenous to North America, correct?
It was developed over many, many hundreds of years by the inhabitants of what is now part of Central America and Mexico. It's spread throughout the whole continent, really, because it's such a useful, delicious plant. It has a long history of being ground down and turned into matzah, and you can extract things like certain vitamins out of that process. And so that's another kind of corn that you may think about, and it's typically a different variety that farmers are growing if they're going to turn it into something like chips or tortillas, because you need it to not spoil as fast. And so we call it sweet corn because it has a higher sugar content as opposed to a higher starch content. Farmers and plant developers have really worked on selecting varieties that will be extra sweet, don't need to cook as long. But if you remember back 50 years ago, I don't, but you used to have to boil corn for what seems like 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 minutes in order to make it edible. And then by that point, it's just sort of like a mush. And now you can toss it in the microwave for 2 minutes and it's good to go. Corn is one of the most researched food and feed crops that we have. And so there's been lots of developments. You have heard of different kinds of ways that corn has been altered or modified. And so if that's something that you want to know more about, ask your farmer. Is this a GMO product or is this not a GMO product? You can't ask a grocery store that. That's the good thing about the farmer's market. You can talk to the farmer and find out about the product that they're selling.
When you say GMO product, what exactly are you talking about?
That means genetically modified organism. And so that can mean a whole lot of things. But when people usually mention that about corn, they're thinking about trans-species genetic material in which some sort of gene editing has been used. Really, genetically modifying food crops is what people have been doing since the invention of agriculture. And so it really depends on what people are looking for. And there's all kinds of different range of selection. So whether it is selecting the best seeds from year to year that do great in your environment, buying seeds that you know will be extra sweet, purchasing seeds from a major seed supplier because that's what's the most cost effective and best for your operation, there's the whole continuum there. And always feel free to talk to your farmer about their production methods, about their seed selection, about why they chose to grow a bicolored peaches and cream corn instead of a silver queen corn. Those are questions that, once again, you can't go to the big box store and ask them, but you can ask those questions from your local farmers.
Has this been a challenging year for farmers for corn production?
Once the farmer gets it from their farm and has been able to keep all the raccoons away, because what a lot of people don't know is that raccoons also love corn. I would say that corn in Kentucky is often grown just open field. And so when you have a 110-degree day, or what feels like a 110-degree day, and then 9 inches of rain the following day, plants don't like that as much as we don't like that. For those areas that have had those dramatic shifts, it has been challenging. But for a few areas in Kentucky, we've had just almost the perfect storm of good weather, good time, and we've had a wonderful crop that's been able to make it to the market so far.